We thought we'd roll out a once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity. Music.
Inter.
Worldwide.
Inter.
Worldwide.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the episode number 74 of the Inter Worldwide podcast. Today, we are going to have our usual suspect here with us. We have Mo. Hi, Mo, how are you?
Hello, everyone.
And we have Giulio Dicenzo. Hi, Giulio.
Hi, everyone.
All right. We have a lot to talk since we have a game every 3 days. Today we are going to talk about the Benevento victory. Then we're going to focus mainly on the two Juventus games. And we're going to close trying to analyze the Fiorentina match. So let's start with Mo. What do you think of the Benevento victory? 4 goals. Finally, we were able to score, and they never shot. Not only 0 shot on goal, but 0 shot at all. So, what do you think about that game?
I think it was just another easy game for us. It was that what made it easy is the early goal from the Christian Eriksen cross. It was great having both Lautaro and Lukaku back on the score sheet, with Lautaro assisting Lukaku for the third goal. In this game, we saw what Inter should do against small teams, if we can call them small this season, like not the top 6 ones. How do you kill off games and make it easy for yourself so the players will not have a lot of stress going to the bigger games and the harder games? The positive thing that I took from this game is Eriksen playing as the regista role. It was very good. It was great to have another alternative for Brozovic, who has been used a lot in that position, and Conte tried to put Vidal, Gagliardini, even Barella there, and it didn't work. And I think the only 2 players that can do this in the squad are Eriksen and Brozovic. If Eriksen can actually step it up even more and have it consistent, I think we can have a very, very, very good player in the squad that can add lots and lots of positives to the game. And that's it was just an easy game. Good 3 points. A message to everybody that we, from now on, we're not gonna lose easy points.
I totally agree with Mo. It was an easy game, but for the strength that Inter demonstrates on the field, and the most important things that we saw in that game is the Eriksen game, as Mo said. That is an important beginning for him in first place, and then the fact that the defense didn't consider literally nothing at Benevento, and that is not so common. So it's an important thing and a statement game, as Mo said. Now we'll see in the next games if we could go on like that.
Giulio, do you think that Eriksen can actually keep it consistent in that role? Like, can he be an asset there, or his body language? What do you feel? Do you feel he can do it, he likes to do it, or it's just a role that he wants to play and that's it?
That was my greatest concern about Eriksen playing in that position, because I didn't think that he could get mentally in that kind of role like he's doing, because respect of in his first games, he's getting better and better. Also his body language, as you said, the way he moves on the pitch, the way he interacts with the other players, it's getting better, and it's a great sign for him in first place. The problem is that the player that gets the position of the deep lying playmaker is Brozovic, and Brozovic it's difficult to get that role from him. Also because Conte has trust in Brozovic, and we don't know if Eriksen can get that spot. But in some easy or more easy games, not with the top teams, not in the top teams, we can see Eriksen playing that position also with Fiorentina, for example.
Right. So you guys were mentioning, hopefully we're able to continue this this kind of victory, since our opponents now are gonna be Fiorentina, Juventus again, then Lazio and Milan. And speaking of Juventus, that was a very frustrating game. And I want to ask you guys what you think, because if I speak too much, they are going to ban me forever. So please, Mo, what do you think of the game? We're recording on Wednesday morning, so the game was yesterday. What do you think?
Now I'm like calm now after the game. I was very upset after the game, but all I can say is we need to accept as Inter fans that we're not gonna beat everyone every game. Like Milan played us the first game, they won 2-1, and then we played them in the Coppa Italia and we had a better game. Forget the red card. Juventus, we played them 2 weeks ago and we won. We actually played very, very well. But in this game, it was decided by small details. And the big games in every competition are decided by just a small detail. It's Alexis Sanchez put that goal and then 2-2. Now we're not talking about it's an uphill. We're talking about we can go and win 1-0 or win any score and then we're through. But tactically, I don't think Conte did anything wrong. And in my opinion, I think what happened is Pirlo figuring out that it's easy just to mark the regista of Inter. It was Brozovic, and Kulusevski was just on him all the time. And even when other players were moving forward with the ball, Kulusevski did not even bother to leave Brozovic and go close Vidal going up or anybody else. He had one mission, is to close down Brozovic, and that was the mission, and that cut everything, every play from the back for Inter. It was just simple. Cut Brozovic. This is why we say we need to find different solutions. So normally the different solution would be playing Lukaku to his feet, long balls from the defenders or the fullbacks, but Lukaku was not there, and it was hard to find a way to break this Juventus team. I think it's not the end of the world, and it's just some mistakes that people need to learn. And I know that everybody's talking about Handanovic and Bastoni's mistake and whose fault is it? It's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is you need better communication, because Coppa Italia, this is a two-legged. You can come back. You play better second game. But in Serie A, if you do a couple of mistakes like this in a game, 3 points, that you can't get them back. It's done. 3 points are gone, or the 2 points are gone, and that's all what I saw from this game.
No, and the fact that there is a second leg, it's very important, because it's not ended there. You described precisely the situation that Juventus get on the field, and we saw a very different Juventus from the one that we saw in Serie A. But apart of that, we lost just because we give away 2 goals. And it's an important thing to consider thinking about the next leg of the game, because if you look at the statistics, everything is well rounded, and there is no cause to cry a lot about this game, except for the goal that you give away. The most important thing that you underlined precisely is the fact that without Lukaku, we had very big problems to get out from the defense and then to play on the offensive side. the important thing on the other side is the Barella game, because he demonstrated that also without Lukaku and Hakimi, that usually plays around him, he is still a great player and he knows what to do.
Okay, I have 3 questions for you guys. I'm gonna do the first one for Giulio, and then the rest, whoever wants to answer can answer. So the first question is, at the end, okay, let's start. In the second time, in the second half of the game, I think we play much better of Juventus, but in general. And my question is, at the end, at one point, I think there was Sensi, Eriksen, Barella, and I don't remember, maybe I remember wrong, but also Brozovic on the field. Is that something we can see more often? I mean, bringing more
quality players.
Exactly, quality players, and people can create from the back. Is that something?
That was a surprise by Conte, in my opinion, because it's one of the first time that we saw Brozovic and Eriksen together, that we saw in Coppa Italia, but not in this kind of games. And then in the previous leg of Coppa Italia. And this was a particular situation because Brozovic was on the defensive line sometimes, and Eriksen was ahead of him with 2 playmakers on the field at the same time. It was a particular situation, and the question is if we can get more quality. It's not so easy to understand because we don't know the Sensi situation as ever, so we don't know how if he feels good, if he's able to play, and if he's able to play, the Sensi will be the answer to your question. Without him, it's hard to understand what Conte will do with Eriksen and Brozovic together. But on the second leg of the semi-final, Vidal can play because he was booked, so we need to have an answer in a week.
Okay, I go with the other 2 questions, and then Mo, you can answer all 3 if you want, or whatever you prefer. Second question was, do you think what happened with the Danovic situation can have some consequence in the next game? I mean, he's the captain, and this is not the first time makes, let's just call it a big mistake, especially against Juventus, but this season is not the first time. Is this gonna have a consequence? And the last question is, you were mentioning a little bit, but how is the game gonna be in the second leg, having Lukaku and Hakimi back and not having Sanchez and Vidal?
Well, the first thing is that Andanovic is used to make some big mistakes. That it's an awful thing to say, but that's true. And so I don't think that this will get some particular consequences because it's happened, and Andanovic knows that he's the goalkeeper of Inter, and so he will go on and play. So I don't think there's a problem, and if Andanovic will have some mental problems after that kind of error, simply is not able to play anymore for Inter. Plain and simple. About the second leg, Inter need to score goals, so we cannot get we cannot wait for Juventus and then counter attack, but we are forced to play the ball more often, and Juventus will wait and then get to the counter attack because players like Cuadrado, Kulusevski, Chiesa, but also Cristiano Ronaldo are very fit for that kind of match. It will be not an easy game because we will feel the pressure to get some goals, and we know that we need to how can I say, win the game in a certain way. it's a difficult game, and without Sanchez and Vidal, you lost two solutions from the bench. So we will have some problems if in the making of the game, if Conte would make some changes or need to get something more.
Well, what do you think?
I think the second game is it's 2-1 and you score one early and then the game is open. It's not it's hard, but we proved that we scored against Juventus in the 9th minute. If you score one in the first 15 minutes, you are putting them under pressure because they are thinking that one more goal and Inter are back in the tie, actually winning, and it doesn't matter. My thing is, if we score one early, it doesn't matter if they score back because you are still need one more goal to tie or to win the second leg. And for me, it's all about the key of scoring early. And I think we proved that we can score early goals. It's just it's a matter of focus and being clinical in front of the goal. And the tie is open. If it's not the end of the world that you lose 2-1 at home, especially with no fans, and there should be less pressure. And my only thing is Vidal provides something that nobody in the squad provides. It's that he provides the heart of the midfield. He fights for every ball, and we saw that in the last 2-3 games. Even if he makes some stupid decisions sometimes, but he fights for every ball, every ball. And that's what I think. And for yesterday, for the game, Sensi, I think it was just a desperate move, because if Sensi was available, you don't put Sensi in the 86th minute. If he is fit and game ready, you will put Sensi early. We know Conte would have chosen Sensi over Eriksen in the 72nd minute, but he didn't, which tells me that Sensi is not fit to play. So it was just desperate. And as Giulio said, Sensi is very key as an option to actually open the passing and open the field, because he's a very technical player and he is one of the best in the squad, but he's not fit. That's it. And as for Handanovic and Bastoni, people are making this a big deal, and I don't think it's a big deal. Mistakes happen in every game for every team. Juventus, Milan, everybody makes mistake, and the problem is Handanovic has been under fire for a long time, and this is why people are just thinking that this is the end of the world. It's not. He is the goalie that we have now, goalkeeper for Inter, and he will be until the end of the season, and we know this. The window is shut, and that's it, and we need to stick with what we have. Like cutting someone's legs now in February is not good. And I don't think anyone from the squad, collar over anyone. And this is what we have, as Giulio said, Inter goalkeeper. He needs to play. There is no other way of this.
Sure. But
that's right. Alex, let me,
yeah.
Mo told an important thing. The most important thing is the mentality that we get on the second leg. You need to attack Juventus and demonstrate that you can score on every occasion, and that will change the game because of everything Mo said. And then you have to believe that you can continue to score, because the result of 1-2 is very, very thin. So everything could happen.
So yeah, I want to add just a little thing about Handanovic, and then I want to go back to the technical point of view against Juventus. But I think we do have an option on the bench for the goalkeepers, because Radu is not the worst goalkeeper in Serie A, and if Handanovic keeps making these judgment mistakes, I don't know, maybe he needs a break or something, or less responsibility, because it's just a matter of being focused and see the game clearly, or see what's happening with the ball and understand space and time and that kind of things. And being a goalkeeper, you should be able to do that, especially with his experience. I think all these things are lacking this season. And being in a crucial position like that, when you make a mistake, most of the time you pay it with a goal. So that's the only thing that concerns me. Is it's not one mistake in a season. It's now multiple mistakes from the end of last seasons, and I understand we cannot buy Oblak or we cannot buy other super great goalkeepers, but we do have an option, and Conte is not trying that option no matter what. And I don't know.
Can I add something to this?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I thought in the Fiorentina game in Coppa Italia, I thought that we will see Rado. But then when we saw Handanovic, I thought there is no coach in the world that wants to lose. And Handanovic is not someone for the future. We know this. Conte, if he sees Rado as a replacement for Handanovic, he would have played Rado. Something that we don't know in practice and training, what happens. And Conte is the coach, and he thinks that Handanovic is the best option for now. Even if your best option gets a 5 out of 10, I'm sure that if Conte thinks that Rado is better, he's gonna play Rado. There is no, it's easy. It's an easy choice. You play the better, especially if it's not for the future, because Handanovic is gonna probably not gonna be the goalkeeper for Inter next season. So it doesn't matter if he gets upset or doesn't like it. It doesn't matter. He is not gonna be the goalkeeper for Inter next season. This is what everybody understands. So I think Conte sees something that maybe we as fans, we don't see. Maybe he does not rate Radu.
Right. Okay. Moving on the tactical point of view for the next game. Do you think that, as I mentioned, having Lukaku and Hakimi back versus this Juventus, which is now the Juventus we face in Serie A, meaning without Cuadrado and De Ligt, do you think we can actually hurt them as we did in Serie A, or this is a different Juventus? They learned a lesson and now they know how to keep the distance from us?
No, we get some occasions also in the first leg. So Inter can always get occasion against anyone. This is the most important thing that we learn under Conte in these 2 years. So we can get the occasion. The problem is that we need to convert that occasions, because we have some problems in that kind of situations from Lukaku, from Lautaro, and so we need to get better in that kind of situations, because like in the first leg, you scored on the first occasion, and then you could manage the game in another way. Then something goes wrong, and so nothing. But on the second leg, you have the opportunity to score. That's for sure, because Inter demonstrated also against Juventus that is the best defense in Serie A. He can get his occasions, and the addition of Lukaku and Hakimi are the most important thing for Conte's game.
I think for me the first leg was Pirlo tactically overcome Conte's plans. It was especially without Lukaku and Hakimi, because he knew that we don't have the big forward up front. So in the second leg, I think Conte needs to give Pirlo something to think about, because I promise you that Pirlo will come and he will still mark Brozovic, which is for us, if we don't have the regista to pass the ball left and right, we do not play from the back. And Conte's teams always try to play from the back and push the wing backs very high. Tactically, the second leg, as Giulio said, we will get chances. And also this Juventus team, we saw when you put them under pressure, they make mistakes, and big mistakes, not like small ones. Like they lose the ball around their 18, they lose the ball inside, and they give you bad passing. They make big mistakes in movement. It's all about believing that you can put these chances away and win this game. It's an uphill battle, but it's not that hard, because we had chances, lots of them, maybe more from their mistakes, but it's tactically you force the mistake. It's a tactic to force the opponent to make a mistake around their area, and then you can capitalize on this. It's Conte has to find a new way as well to create, and if Pirlo come and mark our regista as well, and hopefully he will have something in his back pocket for this.
And in the first minutes of the first leg, after our goal, we saw sometimes a defensive line of 4 people with Brozovic that get down and Bastoni on the left wing. And that was something different that was also specifically for what you said, so for try to overcome the pressure of a Juventus attack.
Okay. I was trying to find this information. Maybe you guys can help me. Do you know if any Juventus player won't be available the second leg due to the yellow card situation? No, Giulio.
As far as I know, no, they will all be available.
Okay.
As far as I know.
I wasn't sure about Quadrado, but I guess it's gonna be part of the game.
Quadrado did not receive a yellow card.
Oh, I thought at the end it did. Oh well, my mistake.
It was Alvaro Morata. It was Morata at the end.
Oh right, all right. So between all these 180 minutes against Juventus, we also have another game versus Fiorentina, which on paper shouldn't be a huge problem, but at the end of the day, playing versus Fiorentina is never easy. We didn't have so much luck in recent years, and I hope that this season will be different. Mo, what do you think we have to expect from this game?
For me, the main thing is that Milinkovic and Castrovilli are not playing. For me, Milinkovic he leads the whole defense. And Castrovilli, for me, is the technical player in their midfield that creates stuff. I know that they have Bonaventura and Amrabat, but Castrovilli, for me, I like the player. He's very good. I think we can have this easy game as well if we control the game. I know we're playing away. It is. It's always it's not easy in Florence, but I think we should be able to get this game under control with the players. So for me, there's no tactical change that needs to be done to play Fiorentina. Fiorentina play 3 in the back most of the time, which is they mirror us. We struggle with this, but we struggle with playing 3 in the back. But without their main defender, you should be able to get over Fiorentina. It's not a big deal, and our defenders now are doing good. Apart from the Juventus game, they are doing really good.
No, yeah, I expect to see Fiorentina playing in a defensive way because without Castrovilli, lose some offensive potential, and so we will get maybe Borja Valero on the starters, and then I expect that they focus on the defensive side, and then try to counterattack on the wings. And because of that, we need to pay particular attention on Ribéry, that is the key player of Fiorentina. And we saw in the first match at San Siro that we get some problems to contain his progressions.
Yeah. So, do you think we're gonna rest some key player for the Juve game, or we're gonna just focus on Serie A and then hope for Coppa Italia?
Maybe Lautaro Martinez. We can get Sanchez and Lukaku in the offensive front, and Vidal will play. Maybe Eriksen. It's not. I expect that Eriksen will play some of these games. And this, more or less, is the last game that he can get as a starter without any problem in Conte's vision.
Right. Maybe rest Barella a little bit.
I think after Ashley Young's last performance, I think I would like. I know that Kolarov is not the love of Inter fans, but I want to see Kolarov maybe on the left wing back, maybe. But
Yes.
to have another option because
Yes.
it's not
try
working.
something new. We need to try something new on that side.
It's not working, right? Like Giulio is like you see. We tried Ashley Young. Perisic come in, he put 5 crosses, get 2 corners, and that's it. That's the whole game for Perisic. He does not. I think he's not playing from the heart. He wanted to leave, or I don't know what happens. But then, is he? The other question is he gonna give Bastoni a break for the Juventus game? Maybe he will do this and put Kolarov on the left. Maybe on the left center back. This is another option.
Also, if you think that it will be an offensive game, you could start Kolarov because he gets some quality and helps with if you want to get something different in your game, and it's important on the set pieces also.
We will get also so Vidal. I think Vidal is gonna play because he's suspended for the second leg. Barella is gonna play, and as Julie said, Sanchez and Lukaku will be up front. Maybe we'll see Gagliardini, but I think that Conte will not play Gagliardini and Eriksen together because they are both slow. He will need like Barella and Vidal to play around Eriksen to cover defensively for them. I'm not sure if D'Ambrosio is back or not. They say he is training with the squad. But we need some rotation sometimes, especially in the defensive line.
He also Skriniar played every game in months. So
yes, the thing about Fiorentina is that with Castrovilli not playing, they have Pulgar, and then now their whole midfield is very physical. Amrabat and Pulgar are very, very physical, big players. They like to fight in the midfield, and our midfielders they're gonna have a battle with them physically in the midfield. Bonaventura is the only one that is technical, but that's if they play Pulgar and Amrabat. If they play Porja Valero, it's gonna be a little bit more technical, and I think our players will not struggle physically with the Fiorentina midfield.
Yeah, Bonaventura is also playing very high level in the recent games. Anyway, last question. What's your score prediction for the Fiorentina game, Mo?
I think we can. We'll win 2-1.
Giulio?
3-1.
3-1. And you want to predict also the second leg against Juve?
That's difficult.
Come on.
I don't know. We win 3-2.
Okay. Mo?
I think 2-1, and then extra time, and then from there we don't know what's gonna happen. But I think this game will mirror the first game, and I think so. But the other way.
I'm gonna say 3-1 against Juventus and 2-1 against Fiorentina. And that's all the time that we have for today. And I gonna say thank you so much to Mo.
Thank you, guys. Always great to chat Inter.
And to Giulio.
Thank you, Alessandro. And in the usual suspect, I will play the role of Kobayashi.
Beautiful. All right. Have a great weekend, and let's hope for the best for those 2 games. Bye, everybody.